Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
For this is what the Sovereign Lord says.
Why do you need prophets to tell people who you are and what you want?
If you can justify everything that the God of the Bible has done, then you can justify any of your behavior.
A lot of this mentality is trickling into what is now mainstream right-wing Christianity.
I am capable of empathy greater than this God of the Bible.
This is a Bible that they tell kids. This is the good Lord. This is the good book. He is fantasizing about murder, mass murder.
Head over to sacrilegiousdiscourse.com right now to find out how to leave us a review or support us on Patreon.
Hey there, sinners and saints. It's your favorite Bible-bashing duo from Sacrilegious Discourse, and we need your help.
That's right, folks. We're raising funds for some heavenly equipment and a studio that doesn't sound like it's in the depths of hell.
Our current setup, let's just say it's more apocalypse than audiophile.
So if you want to hear us dissect the Bible without the background noise of demonic squirrels, chip in a few bucks.
We're aiming for $5,000 to upgrade our audio and build a studio worthy of blasphemous banter.
Donate today and help us spread the good word of atheism.
You can find a link right on our homepage, sacrilegiousdiscourse.com. Every dollar counts.
Even if it's from your collection plate. Husband!
Wife!
What are we doing?
Well, we're actually doing a special episode.
Special episode? What the hell?
Yes. So this one is going to be available for everybody. And it's kind of the start of a new thing with us.
A thing?
A thing.
What thing?
So we have sucked at getting our podcast out lately.
And how?
So wife and I sat down and tried to figure out why we've sucked. And
how we can stop feeling like suckage.
Yeah. And we came up with some solutions because a lot of this lately, some of it has revolved around wife being injured and the outcomes of all that.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I, as many of you know, have started a new job, and that has affected things as well.
And you're working 1,000,000 hours.
I'm working 1,000,000 hours, yeah. And so what we've decided is that we have basically 1.5 days where we can get ahead on our podcast. And the way we were doing things was that we got ahead to a certain point until we hit our live Discord, which is what we're doing tonight, actually.
Yes.
We're on our live Discord tonight.
Which you can join us every Wednesday at 10 Eastern on Discord.
Yeah, and I highly recommend it, especially after what we're about to announce.
Yeah.
So what we decided, we could only prepare so far because we wanted to stay current with our episodes when we reached the Discord. And what we're going to do going forward is our Discord night, so Wednesday nights when we record, will be special episodes every week. And every other week will be a Patreon-only special episode.
Yes.
Or Discord-only.
Yes.
So you can catch them always on Discord if you're live with us that night.
Uh-huh.
Or they will be Patreon-only on the every other weeks.
Yeah.
We will do a special episode that goes out every other week for everybody as well. So we're going to kind of bounce back and forth, but the only way to catch them all is to either be with us on Patreon or Discord or both.
Yeah.
That would be,
that would be ideal.
The best way for us.
The best of both worlds. Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
But so that's what we're going to start doing tonight.
And that means that our Wednesday night lives will no longer be specifically Bible-centric, and that we will not necessarily be reading a chapter,
right?
Which is what we've been doing.
Yeah.
Our Wednesday lives will now be more current affairs, particularly maybe leaning on news and politics, and because of that will be somewhat America-centric. So
right.
Apologies to our international listeners. I know that doesn't always interest you guys. But,
well, and some of the other things we'll probably end up discussing will just be relevant themes to secularism and atheists, things like that.
Yeah, they will always have a tie to our channel's purpose, which is atheism and free thought and agnosticism and humanism and all of that.
Secularism.
Secularism.
The whole
Thank
thing.
you.
Yeah. Right. So that being said, this is it this month that this is for, or is it, the thing that we're going to be discussing tonight? Is it a month-long thing, or is it this week?
This week.
This week. Okay.
Yeah.
So there is a thing going on this week, which is kind of influencing what we're talking about tonight, which is going to be
Banned Books Week.
Yeah.
Is what we're talking about tonight.
And this is one that is near and dear to our hearts and wife's heart in particular.
Yes.
Because wife is quite the connoisseur of books.
Well, and libraries. We met by working in a bookstore.
We did. Yeah. So actually, as far as our relationship is concerned, it's actually very relevant to us.
Yeah.
And I think I speak for wife and I both in that we believe that there shouldn't be banned books.
We were discussing this topic last night, and the anarchist cookbook came up.
Well, okay.
And
So we did discuss that. And I guess when it comes to direct harm and influencing or having the ability to create harm in a book and the instructions on how to do so,
right,
that might cross a line.
It's similar to we have freedom of speech here in America, except that of course there are things that we can't do.
Sure.
Even though we have freedom of speech, we can't yell fire in a crowded theater if there's not a fire.
Right.
So there's always going to be these rules that have what I would consider common sense exceptions.
Yeah.
But as we all know, sense is anything but common.
Right.
So,
and just before we jump into the main bit, I will say that atheists in general like to joke that the banned book that they want would be the Bible. But to be perfectly honest with you, I don't want the Bible to be banned. I think that we should have the Bible accessible to everybody. And actually more than that, I think it should be taught not to children, but it should be discussed and talked about in the sense that it is a piece of literature about a mythical being from the past, from our past and human history.
Sure.
It needs to be discussed in the way that it actually is and not how it exists in people's, zeitgeist for their own religion.
Right.
But
exactly.
The reason that you don't ban books like the Bible, even though they can cause harm with regard to how these laws affect us, is because we still have to be able to examine those texts that are affecting people, regardless of whether they're banned or not,
right,
and talk about them.
Exactly.
And that's why it's important not to ban things.
Yeah.
Stop
banning books, you guys.
So anyway, I think we're going to get into a lot more in this episode. Just wanted to make everybody aware of the change in our platform somewhat. We will probably be doing kind of one less episode a week. So We'll be doing 4 Bible study chapters per week, 1 special episode, and a Q&A.
Yeah.
And that's going to be generally how we set it up because it cuts one day off for us and gives us some time to reset and rethink and replan.
And let us work ahead without interfering with our live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of stress off of us and it allows us to move forward and still be productive with what we're doing.
Exactly.
So I hope you all are on board with what we're doing and we're looking forward to this new,
format
that we're doing.
Yeah.
And we hope you'll like it too.
Yeah.
So with that being said, are you ready to jump into this?
Sure as fuck am.
All right, let's do this.
Okie dokie. All right, let's get into Banned Books Week, shall we?
We shall.
Okay. Banned Books Week. Do you know what it is?
Where we banned books.
All the books.
And we ban them or banned them?
We ban all the books and then we put them in a band and that's too
too much.
No,
yeah,
too much.
I was just
bad.
I tried it. It went wrong.
Nope.
It went south.
Take it back.
We're gonna go on with this.
Let's pretend that never happened.
That didn't happen.
Banned Books Week is an annual awareness campaign promoted by the American Library Association.
Yes.
The ALA, which I will say more about in a minute.
Right.
Along with Amnesty International, which
really?
I didn't know
realize.
They were part of
that.
Yeah.
But that's actually really fantastic.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a fact I did not know. And I did Banned Books Week either last year or the year before. We covered this.
We did.
And
because books are near and dear to our hearts.
Yes. Yes.
So.
But I don't recall that being a factoid. Yeah.
Maybe they just started, supporting it. Maybe they jumped on. Who knows?
Who knows? But it's cool nonetheless.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So the purpose of Banned Books Week is threefold. One, it celebrates the freedom to read.
Yeah. Right.
2, it draws attention to banned and challenged books. And there is a difference between challenged and banned.
Got it. Okay.
And number 3, it highlights persecuted individuals, which I did not realize that it was about the individual as much as the book. And that's really interesting to me.
Well, like, I think Salman Rushdie comes to mind, right?
Yeah.
He is, his home country does not support what he does.
Right.
You know, and
he survived
actually,
an assassination attempt.
Yeah, not all that long ago, actually.
Like, just in the last couple of years, I think.
Right.
And he, like, lost an eye or something.
Yeah. So, I mean, and his book is not even available to read in his own country. So it's things like that. Like, there's people that risk their lives to get information to you.
Yeah.
Through their words, you know, and that to me is admirable and worthy of respect and you know, support. So, and
FYI, if you've never read Salman Rushdie, highly recommend.
Yeah.
He's so good. And I about poop my pants every time I watch Bridget Jones's Diary, because he plays a small role in that movie. He plays the role of the quote unquote boring academic
I did not
author.
know that, actually.
Yeah. She basically thinks that he's like overly pretentious or whatever.
Right.
And he plays that guy.
Got it.
And that is just fucking hilarious. And every time I see him, I'm like, oh my God, that's Salman Rushdie. I always forget he's in Bridget Jones's Diary.
That's very cool.
Yeah. And that's a movie that I watch every New Year's. Okay, anyway, whatever. So the United States campaign with regard to Banned Books Week stresses the importance of ensuring the availability of those unorthodox or unpopular viewpoints to all who wish to read them, and the requirement to keep material publicly available so that people can develop their own conclusions and opinions.
Yeah.
Banned Books Week is intended to encourage readers to examine challenged literary works and to promote intellectual freedom in libraries, schools, and bookstores.
Yeah.
So we'll get into libraries and schools at least in a minute here. Okay.
Yeah.
Ultimately, its goal is to teach the importance of our First Amendment rights and the power of literature, and to draw attention to the danger that exists when restraints are imposed on the availability of information in a free society.
Well, and you know this as well as I do, but I think that it's very important to read things. And you know, what we're doing with this entire podcast actually is you know, emblematic of this idea, and that's that read things that challenge your ideas of what is right and correct, right? And try to understand things from a different perspective, so that way all it does to me, not all it does, but part of what it does for me is allows me to step outside of my own worldview and challenge my take on different ideas and then reformulate them in order to adapt to this new information that I'm getting, right? And to me, that's important to be able to do.
I have such mixed feelings on this because I like my comfort level. I like staying in my zone. I like being complacent. No, I'm trying to be human here, right? And like, I don't want to go out there and read Christian literature, but here I am reading the Bible. So, I mean, even at that, I am pushing myself outside my comfort zone. But like, I'm not going to go shopping in a Christian bookstore and read a lot of Christian books.
Right.
Or there's like a whole bunch of genres. Like, I don't read Westerns, you know?
Sure.
Like, I don't really enjoy tedious biographies.
But to me, it would be, so for example, right? If we continue going down this road with our podcast for a long, long time, and we get done with the Bible at some point, I at least am probably going to read other things, and some of them will be things to challenge myself. And that would be, you know, I've always wanted to read the writings by C.S. Lewis with regard to religion, because that's something that is brought up quite a bit.
Sure.
And, you know, the philosophies that he had with regard to how Christianity is viable and real are important to the zeitgeist of the discussion.
Sure.
Right? So these are things that I want to pursue in order to better formulate my ideas of what I have with regard to my beliefs and my stance on religion.
No, I
and
totally
God,
get that. I totally get that.
So, and that's
I'm just trying to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, honestly speaking, there are some things that I don't want to try out.
I completely agree with you. I will never read Danielle Steele.
Right?
So I'm just saying that one is not going to be something I will ever read.
I'm not into romance or erotica.
If you like Danielle Steele, more power to you. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
So
I'm just, it's not my thing.
Right.
And so I guess the difference is that whereas I don't want to come out of my zone and try things, I'm not willing to stop other people. Like, if you like romance or erotica or whatever, if you like Westerns, that's fine. It's there. Read it. Go read all the things.
Well, oddly enough, one of the books that you and I connected on when we were younger was Atlas
Shrugged
right?
by Ayn Rand.
We were both reading it for the reasons of understanding a different perspective on, politics. And, that was why we were reading it. Not because we were fans of Ayn Rand.
No.
We were trying to understand this point of view and then be able to comment about it better after having read that book, right? So information, even opposing views, being available for everybody to read and understand and have available is very, very, very important.
It was important for our marriage.
Well, yeah.
I mean, okay, I know we've told this story before, but just for anybody who has never heard it, we were both going to our local community college, and we both ended up in the computer lab at the same time, and we're sitting next to each other, and we were like, hey, how are you? Because we had worked together at a bookstore.
Yeah.
So,
which we could say the name. It's not even a bookstore anymore.
Oh, yeah. It's Borders Books and Music.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we used to work there, loved it. And then when we bumped into each other on the community college campus,
right,
it was just like really cool, like just coming back to an old friend,
Yeah.
And so we started hanging out. When we were sitting next to each other in the computer lab, you, husband, opened your backpack and I about shit my pants because not only did the book Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged tumble out of your backpack, but I saw your bookmark. You were almost exactly the same way the same portion of the way through the book that I was.
Right.
And I was like, you're reading that? You have got to be fucking kidding me. And I'm like, I opened my bag and pulled my copy out. And like, we weren't taking the same classes. Like, this was not a college requirement or suggestion. No. We didn't run in the same circles and have it come up in conversation or anything like that.
We both had chose to read that book.
Yeah. So, I mean, if I believed in fate, I might say it was meant to be, but this is an atheist podcast, so
and also, if you look at the history, we met at the fucking bookstore.
Right.
And we were both...
A very liberal bookstore at that.
Yeah.
At the time.
And you were discovering your liberalness at the time.
Yeah.
Like, you were coming into your own with regard to that, and this was part of that journey for you, I think.
It was, yeah. So it's not that unusual.
Right.
It was
I was very political, too. Or, no, I shouldn't say too. I was very political.
Yeah.
I was at the time campaigning for the Green Party. I was doing all kinds of shit that was very, active and out there with regard to people of my age group at the time with regard to politics. I read a lot of political books.
Yeah.
I read a lot of history. I read a lot of, when I was in my early 20s, you probably didn't want to fuck with me on politics because I was probably an angry fucking kid with regard to politics.
Yeah.
That's kind of who I was. So
I'll just never forget the day that I realized that I was not the Republican that my parents had brought me up to be.
Right.
And I emailed like all my liberal friends and was like, oh my God, you guys, I think I'm a Democrat. And like everybody was like sending me like applause and like, great job and welcome and so glad to see you here. And husband, you sent me welcome to the dark side.
Yeah.
It was so great. Yep. Okay, so anyway, back to banned books.
Banned books.
Not romance.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, we gotta people shouldn't expect us to get off on, never mind.
What? So anyway.
Yes, tangents. We do those.
Yeah, so we talked about the United States campaign with regard to Banned Books Week.
Yeah.
The international campaign recognizes individuals who have been persecuted because of the writings that they produce, circulate, or read. So that's where Salman Rushdie, your example, would be mentioned.
One of those, yeah. Right.
Amnesty International documents cases annually which show individuals who have been reportedly killed, incarcerated, or otherwise harassed by national authorities around the world.
Wow.
They urge people to take action to help it in partnership with its Urgent Action Network by contacting authorities regarding human rights violations. The international event held by Amnesty International has been praised for reminding people about the price that some people pay for expressing controversial views.
Right.
Wow, you know?
Yep.
Since 2011, the American Association of School Libraries, which is a branch under the ALA, has designated the Wednesday of Banned Books Week as Banned Website Awareness Day. And we're recording this on Wednesday of Banned Books Week.
Well,
so today is,
cool.
right?
Yeah.
Now, if you're listening to this when it posts, then it's Thursday or after. So you're late and you missed it.
Sure.
And you should have been on Discord, you know, at 10 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays.
Right. I bet our podcast website probably ends up in some like filters because there's cuss words all through it. So,
right.
You know, at the very least, that's even before you get to the ideas that are promoted through it, you know, with regard to the atheism and everything else. So,
well, husband, happy Banned Website Awareness Day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're supposed to say and to you as well.
Yeah, and to you as well. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I apologize.
Oh my God.
I apologize. I didn't.
Rude.
I didn't know that we were celebrating right here on the air.
Yeah.
I thought you were just acknowledging that. Yeah, that's a thing. So
rude.
Yeah.
The theme of this year's event is "Freed Between the Lines."
Oh,
love
that's
it.
clever.
Yeah,
That is clever. I
it.
like it.
I'm always here for a good dad joke or a dad pun.
Oh,
and
did you like my dad joke today?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
It was so smart.
It was really dumb. It was really fucking dumb.
It was so smart.
But it was great. So, okay, I'm going to start the story. You can finish it.
Yeah.
But there was I was at work where there was a freaking red-tailed hawk in a tree at work, and it was just sitting there. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. And so I found a place where I could take a really great picture of it. I took a really great picture of it. I'm going to share it in Discord when we're done. So,
it's beautiful.
You know, but it's a beautiful picture.
Yeah.
And anyway,
you sent it to me and Kid.
Yeah, and then you can tell them what I said.
And you said, sitting in a tree in front of our place of work.
Yeah.
And then Kid said, did he buy a thing? And then you said, LOL, no. He said our prices were too falcon high.
Falcon, because Falcon.
Because Falcon. Yeah. And I died, and this is my ghost speaking.
That's all. Yeah. Sorry.
Like I said,
I was proud of that moment for about 30 seconds.
No, I said that to my mom and your
Did
mom,
really?
and they both appreciated it. It was a good one. My mom said that she and Dad were both cracking up.
Yeah.
It was a good one.
Yep.
Too Falcon High. Nice. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about the American Library Association.
Okay.
It is a nonprofit organization based in the U.S. that promotes libraries and library education internationally. It is the oldest and largest library association in the world.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ALA membership is open to any person or organization. Why are we not members of the ALA?
Mostly poor.
Though its members are mostly libraries or librarians.
Sure.
And I am in a different life, have a master's in library science. I'm a librarian
That's what you want to be.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. In a different timeline.
Right.
And if I were to pursue that career choice, that career field, I would have to find a school that has an accredited program that is approved by the ALA.
Right.
So they're
an important group.
They're for real.
Yeah.
Like, you don't just go to school and be like, I'm a librarian now.
Right.
Like, if the ALA says you're not, then your degree is nothing.
Right.
So anyway, most members of the ALA live and work in the U.S., with international members comprising only 3.5% of total membership, which makes sense. It's based in the U.S.
Yeah.
But that's where Amnesty International comes in.
Got it.
All right, but let's talk about that thing I mentioned earlier, the American Association of School Libraries, which is a branch of that.
Okay.
The AASL is a division of the ALA that serves primary school and secondary school librarians in the U.S., Canada, and internationally.
Okay.
Which is why it says primary school and secondary school, because what?
Right.
The mission of the American Association of School Librarians is to empower leaders to transform teaching and learning. AASL publishes standards for school libraries that provide benchmarks and insight into the indicators for each standard. Its various publications assist in helping school librarians establish effective library programs that meet the needs of changing school library environments.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm going to applaud the school librarians out there because a lot of them have really stepped up to the plate when it's come to some of these banned book things that are happening in the news.
Yeah, particularly in Florida.
Yeah, and they really have held their ground with regard to their stance on how to treat the information that is in their libraries. They've
tried to fight it, and when they couldn't fight it anymore, they complained. Some of them retired over it or quit.
Right.
Some of them created secret libraries for students that, were really interested in one of these banned books.
But they've made a public statement. Collectively as a group of people.
Yes.
They have there's been enough voices out there that it is well known that they have stood up for the rights of free speech, and it's something that is very admirable to me on a individual basis.
Yes. No, that is something that I've always appreciated about librarians in general.
Yeah.
To me, they are like not the front line, but they are right there in the fight for First Amendment rights. Yeah. And they are just so brave, and the work that they do is amazing. I so admire them. They are heroes.
I agree.
Hats off to librarians everywhere.
I agree.
So, Banned Website Awareness Day. Let's talk about that a little bit more.
Sure.
Okay. It was designated by the AASL and is celebrated to raise awareness of the overly restrictive and increasingly aggressive blocking of legitimate educational websites and academically useful social networking tools used by students and educators in schools and school libraries. Yeah. I read a bunch of the sites that are blocked that they wish that they would block, things like Facebook even, because they're like, well, no, that was my first impression. But the more I read, the more that they kind of convinced me, like, the kids are on it, whether we like it or not. And blocking it means that we cannot teach them how to use it correctly. Or, when there's bullying happening off campus, the school cannot step in and assist students who are being bullied online.
Yeah.
And that's not okay.
I get it. I guess my concern is that, in an ideal situation, I would want them not to be banned.
Right.
Right. But the focus should be on teaching.
Yeah.
Right. A teaching moment.
Yeah.
Not banning something.
Exactly.
Because that's the lazy way out. Right.
Yeah.
That's like teaching abstinence only in sex ed.
Right.
Right.
And let's have a discussion about these things and trust our children to make choices based on what they've learned at home.
Right. And you can't teach them how to navigate something if you don't allow them to even navigate it.
Right.
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 And they are going. The fact is that whether their parents and the school bans it or not, those kids are still going to be on social media.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
Yeah.
It's not even a question at this point. They will have an account through a friend's phone or something.
Yep.
That they manage, and that's just the way this world operates.
Did you see there's been times when kids had their smartphones taken away from them, and they were so addicted that they found a way to use the online thing through their refrigerator to get on Twitter or something like that.
Now that is some serious innovation.
Yeah, and everybody's like, these kids are so addicted, and I'm like, did y'all miss the part where they figured out shit that we can't figure out.
Right.
I'm like
compared to your level of technical expertise, they just hacked fucking NASA.
Right?
You know,
I'm like,
or whatever.
In our day, we made fun of our parents for not being able to program the VCR.
Right.
And now the kids are making fun of us for not being able to get online or not know that you can get online through the smart devices in our home.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all are missing the thread here.
I kind of feel bad for our kids because I was always very technical and I know how to do things. So but you know what? Here's the difference, right? Our kids grew up in an environment where we encouraged, thought and conversation, and we encouraged them to bring us ideas. And I think we fostered an environment that allowed them to be online and still have a family discussion about things.
Yeah.
And it seemed to work, and I think I think more importantly than anything with regard to the banned website week or website day or whatever.
Yeah.
Website, right. I think the problem is that we're not addressing the issue that is there.
Right.
Right. And the issue that is there is that these kids are getting on things that we don't know, that a lot of parents don't know what they're doing.
Well,
right.
And the problem is not that the kids are addicted. Like, no, that's a symptom of the problem. The problem is that the parents are addicted and they are using the phone, that they're letting the phone entertain their kids while they're in another room sitting on the couch on their phone.
Yeah, and they don't care until it's too late.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the general MO of the bad
never,
online parent.
My child would never. That's what they always say.
Sure.
And that's like, you don't even know what your child would or wouldn't.
No, I think it helps to set healthy boundaries with regard to technology. And like we had things where, like if you started getting in a bad mood because of technology, it was off.
Yep.
You're done.
Yeah.
That's it.
It was particularly like video game kind of things. Like they would get like shitty about it. Both of them. They would get shitty about like, I keep losing or dying. And they would like get so angry. And we're like, okay, so you need a break.
Yeah.
Like, I understand frustration at losing, but you are like legit pissed off. And that much emotion toward a game is not okay.
And during early adolescence and younger, we checked in with them very, very much with regard to their activity online.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was something we monitored on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And, kept track of. So.
Yeah. And, we helped them set up their accounts, and we, made it clear that we could check in on those accounts anytime. But
we also respected boundaries.
Sure.
So there's a healthy mix,
You have to have that conversation.
Yeah.
And not just once.
Right.
Like, you have to keep checking in.
Yeah, it's like you can't have the birds and the bee talk and then just like let your kids go.
Right.
Like that can't be it.
Well,
you have to continue to talk about that kind of stuff and be okay with having open discussions about these things ongoing in your household. Because information is how you move forward, it's how you move through life and how you understand and adapt.
Well, like, kid asked me, why do you keep talking about this? We already talked about this before. And I'm like, right. But like, I say I love you more than once. I don't just say I love you once when you were born and then never again. Because I already told you.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Like, no, I keep telling you so you keep knowing it.
Yeah.
Like, this stuff is just like that. It's important. I'm relaying data to you and then I'm reinforcing it.
Right.
So anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
So the AASL, that's the school thing, advises that filtering websites does the next generation of digital citizens a grave disservice. Students must develop skills to evaluate information from all types of sources in multiple formats, including the internet. Relying solely on filters does not teach young citizens how to be savvy searchers or how to evaluate the accuracy of information.
Sure.
So I totally appreciate that.
I do too.
Yeah. Amen. Do I want my kid floating around on a porn site? No.
But if you don't address it, they will end up there anyway.
And maybe not on purpose. Maybe yes on purpose.
Right.
Like, you got to talk about it.
But if you are open about it, it's something that you are able to address.
Right. And then if they do want to go to a porn site, maybe they'll do it intelligently and not download, a virus to the computer or
Right.
have the FBI show up,
Right, yeah.
I don't know, whatever.
That's always not a, yeah. Nobody wants that to happen.
No. That reminds me, one of my nephews, when
This is, what?
when one of my nephews was really, really young, like I'm talking like 3rd or 4th grade.
Okay.
Parents were checking in on his phone and found a search history that included Scooby-Doo and Velma and Daphne doing the thing.
Right, yeah, yeah. Well, that just, I mean, that's why you check in on your kids.
Yeah. I just thought, oh, wow, that is so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so history. Banned Books Week has been observed in late September to early October since 1982, when it was founded by First Amendment and library activist Judith Krug. Krug said that the Association of American Publishers contacted her with ideas to bring banned books to the attention of the American public after a, quote, slew of books had been banned that year. Krug relayed the information to the American Library Association's Intellectual Freedom Committee, and 6 weeks later, they celebrated the first Banned Books Week.
Very cool.
Let's keep in mind, 1982, that would have been like right at the beginning of Satanic Panic.
And Reagan's, presidential, campaign, or,
like, the super social beginnings of when republicanism was getting tied to Christianity.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that makes perfect sense of
it does.
why
It does.
The slew of books were suddenly banned everywhere.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Unfortunately, yes.
The top 10 most challenged books of 2023 are Genderqueer by Maya Kababi, and I apologize for my horrible pronunciation. Reasons for LGBTQIA plus content and claim to be sexually explicit. All Boys Aren't Blue, which was on the list the last time we did this episode, by George M. Johnson. Reasons LGBTQIA content claim to be sexually explicit. This book is Gay by Juno Dawson for the reasons of LGBTQIA plus content, sex education, claim to be sexually explicit.
I'm sensing a theme
Are
here.
you sensing a pattern?
Yeah.
The Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Oh, such a
good book and movie.
Yeah.
By Stephen Chbosky. Reasons claim to be sexually explicit, LGBTQIA content, rape, drugs, and profanity.
Jesus Christ. That's fucking bullshit.
I mean, those things all happen,
look,
but
that book should absolutely be available to high schoolers.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely 100%. Yeah, totally. Because it's not about what happened to the kid. It's about how the kid dealt with it in the aftermath and his friends and learning.
Right. And I'm speaking on this one because I know this one. But I'm sure that applies to the others as well.
Sure.
But I mean, there's no fucking reason that should be banned.
No, it's such a good book.
Yeah.
Flamer by Mike Curato. Reasons LGBTQIA plus content claim to be sexually explicit.
Yeah.
The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. Reasons depiction of rape, incest, claim to be sexually explicit, EDI content. Okay, now we've got a tie for the next two. Tricks by Ellen Hopkins. Reasons claim to be sexually explicit, drugs, depiction of rape, LGBTQIA content. Ellen Hopkins, I believe, is the one who wrote Speak and then Shout.
Oh, yeah.
And
those were, Kid read those actually. And really liked those.
I read those several years before Kid. I read them way before Kid.
That's right. Yeah.
I was like super impressed and also just on my toes ready for discussion for Speak and Shout, because those are very heavy material, very well written, very good books, but heavy.
Yeah.
So the other one that tied with it was Me and Earl and the Dying Girl by Jesse Andrews. Reasons claim to be sexually explicit and profanity.
Oh, not profanity.
Right?
Fucking bullshit. That's crap.
Let's Talk About It by Erica Moen and Matthew Nolan. Reasons claim to be sexually explicit, sex education, LGBTQIA content. Again, see the pattern?
No, this is feeling. I mean, specifically, the sexual content and the LGBTQIA content,
Yeah.
and even more so in that pairing,
Yeah.
the LGBTQIA is very much religiously driven.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't think that, I don't know. Again, I think these themes are better, like, no matter what your views are on them, right? Even if your views are against LGBTQIA, you should be willing to entertain the idea so that you can discuss it with your kid, right?
Intelligently.
If you are confident in your ideas,
Right.
you should be willing to allow that information to enter and then discuss, right? To me, it's okay if your kid reads something that you don't agree with, as long as you are willing and able to discuss that stuff with them.
Right.
Right. That's the important aspect of allowing for books not to be banned, is the ability to teach from those moments.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we're having such an issue, is because we have a bunch of people in this country who are right-leaning religious fanatics who don't like LGBTQIA because of religion, only they don't really know why.
Yeah.
You know, they don't understand their ideas of hate that they have towards these communities.
Yeah.
And therefore their answer is, don't talk about it. It just doesn't exist. Let's pretend it's not there. Yeah. And more so, let's make sure our kids can't see that it's there.
Right. Exactly.
Because we don't want to even talk about it.
No.
And avoidance is the way that it is dealt with now. And that's just, it's crap.
It's not okay.
Right.
It's just not okay.
No.
At the end of the day, it's not okay.
Right.
Okay, the last one on the list for the top 10 for last year.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Was the book Sold by Patricia McCormick. Reasons, claimed to be sexually explicit, and depiction of rape. I am willing to bet, if I recall correctly, that it's also because it had to do with the slave trade.
Okay.
That Sold is the name of the book, and it's about a girl who is sold. So I'm going to guess it's also because it made white people uncomfortable.
Sure.
Because they don't like that DEI shit, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, don't you talk about how I personally used to own a slave and suck?
Right.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Did you hear yourself, sir?
Yeah.
I don't think that you understood what I said, because you didn't own a slave. Your ancestors certainly did. And you should, be concerned about that. And we should talk about it.
Right.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. No, I that's the important part of these books
Right.
is the discussions, right?
But no, that's yucky. You're saying that I own a slave, and that's gross. And I'm like, well, it would be gross if you owned a slave, but that's not what I'm saying, stupid.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, people. Let's see. There's a Let Freedom Read Day on September 28th of this year, which is
the end of this week, basically.
Yeah. We're asking everyone to get ready to vote for the freedom to read, or to take at least one action to help defend books from censorship, and to stand up for the library staff, educators, writers, publishers, and booksellers who make all this available.
Yeah.
So on the 28th, if you can do something, do it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
The USA Today put out an article a couple days ago with regard to Banned Book Week.
Okay.
And we will link to this article in the show notes. They said across several polls, most Americans don't agree with book banning. An American Library Association survey of voters and public school parents found that 71% oppose removing books from public libraries.
Very cool.
Including a majority of Democrats, Republicans, and independents.
Very cool.
Yeah. In 2023, a USA Today investigation revealed that a site called booklooks.org was the resource behind hundreds of book challenges nationwide. Launched in 2022, the site promotes a book rating system that right-wing political activist group Moms for Liberty also uses.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, there will be times when they will challenge a book that a library doesn't even own.
Right.
But they got it off this list. So they're like, I want to challenge this.
And I don't know the exact stats on this, but I think it was in the state of Florida, that was one woman got it was a large percentage of the books banned in that state.
Yeah.
One fucking woman.
Yeah. Because of this website.
Yeah. Right.
bitch. Moms for Liberty has been a particularly powerful crusader within the parents' rights movement with a major focus on sexual content. They don't like that sex stuff.
You know
except
what?
that they do.
It's funny. They're saying sexual content, but really, they lean heavily on the LGBTQIA.
Yeah.
And, they just basically, if there is that theme in a book, they're going to call it sex content, regardless of whether it actually is or not.
Exactly.
So,
I mean, the fact that one of the books that always shows up on the banned books list, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's about two gay penguins that have a baby penguin that they kind of adopted it, like based on a true story kind of thing.
And they probably say that it has sexual content.
And it should be banned because it's pushing an agenda. And it's like, you know what? It fucking is. It's pushing the agenda of love is love and get the fuck over it. And this is 2024 and it's okay to be queer in any capacity.
But it's no more pushing an agenda than if you had a husband and wife.
Right. Exactly.
That is the same agenda.
Yeah.
Just from a different perspective.
Exactly.
So they need to, the perspectives are skewed. We aren't looking at these ideas from a secular perspective or a free-thinking perspective where you can adjust your views based on reality.
Right.
We're looking at them from a religious lens.
Yeah.
And that religious lens is allowing people to say that these things are evil, bad, and wrong.
Yeah.
And that's merely their take, their opinion, because of their religious upbringing and their religious indoctrination.
Yeah.
And that's bullshit.
Right.
Like, we're essentially allowing our public schools to be monitored by a religious cult.
Yeah.
And that is complete crap.
And it's terrifying that there's a large portion of the country that is for a guy who would make that happen.
Right.
You're
talking about Trump, I'm assuming. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Piece of shit.
Right.
Yeah. So going on with this article from the USA Today, in Florida, recent legislation dictates that titles including sexual content, even if it is not pornographic, are subject to removal. This means materials like the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, The Color
Jesus
Purple, and Anne Frank's Diary.
Let's not forget the Bible.
That's
I'm just
not
saying,
on the list. I'm sorry.
But
that's a good book. That's got the good news.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have all been pulled from shelves to review. Some Shakespeare titles are at risk. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You got to try hard.
Jeez.
So when they say that they are up for review, that's the challenge. Challenge means that we're going to talk about it and see what the complaint is and if it's valid. If we actually pull it from the shelf and no longer allow it, then that means it's banned.
Got it.
So that's the difference between challenged and banned.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But these books have been pulled because they've been challenged. They just haven't necessarily been banned, but they might as well be because they're not on the shelf.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So under Florida legislation, teachers can be charged with a felony for possessing and distributing quote unquote inappropriate books.
I got to tell you, if I was single, didn't have a family to worry about, and I was a school librarian, you better bet your ass I'm going to go to fucking jail over that.
Oh, yeah.
I would fucking make a point.
I would,
too. And I'm not suggesting that anybody do that. But
if you are able to, and you think that this is an important cause,
no, yeah,
I am encouraging. But
I'm not suggesting somebody do it just to do it. But I'm just saying that to me, this is an important cause, and fuck you for putting me in jail.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah, honestly.
That is some bullshit.
Yeah, and I would make sure that it got fucking national coverage.
Right,
I'll
write a goddamn book and make a movie afterward.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy for kneeling on the 50-yard line up in Seattle or whatever the fuck
Colin
it wears.
Kaepernick?
No,
I'm
the
sorry.
goddamn prayer guy.
No, you were saying.
I apologize. No, I should have.
I was like,
no.
Colin Kaepernick.
No, the 50. That's why I said the 50-yard line.
The football coach, the high school football coach.
I don't know or care to know his name.
It turns out he's not even from that state.
Oh, I know. He lives in Florida now.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he has a movie deal, a book deal.
Yeah.
He's making the rounds. He's like making the rounds of interviews all over the fucking place. This fucker's famous.
Yeah.
For kneeling on a goddamn football field.
Well, just in case listeners don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah, sorry.
This football coach for a high school, he had come from out of state, I guess,
Florida.
to be a teacher at this school, and I don't remember what state the school's in.
Right. I think it was in like Washington or Oregon or something.
I don't know.
It was somewhere in the northwest for sure.
Well, at any rate, he was having the football players come do a prayer at the goalpost or what the fuck ever. I don't know.
50-yard line.
50-yard line.
Sure.
Okay, whatever.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, before and after the game. And so he was fired because parents complained because, excuse you, what the fuck? That's not okay. So he sued and they found that, yeah, you shouldn't have fired him. He has the right to do that.
Right.
And he was rehired. He went back for one game and then skedaddled.
Well, you forgot to mention the most important part, because the Supreme Court sided with this fucker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Our fucking Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Sided with this fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Changing, just whatever. I can't even stomach what is happening in the Supreme Court right now.
No.
And what it's doing to our country, but it's...
I have no business knowing anything about what's happening with the Supreme Court. And it pisses me the fuck off that I have to pay attention to that boring bullshit, because they are just doing such a horrible job of deciphering the laws that have always been on the books, or not making the laws the way they should be, you know?
Right.
It just pisses me off. Like, I should not have to pay the fuck attention to the Supreme Court and to know the names and the histories of them. Old me would never have been interested in that. I'm still not interested, but I'm pissed off enough at what they're doing that I do pay attention.
Sure.
And it takes up a large portion of my time knowing what them and all the fucking politicians are doing. Assholes. I hate them all. Just be boring, you guys. Just do your fucking job. Do it correctly. Stop being assholes. So throughout history, books promoting atheism, secularism, or scientific inquiry that challenged religious orthodoxy have been targeted, often for censorship or outright banning. Specific examples of atheist or humanist texts that have faced censorship are The God Delusion by Richard Dawkins, Letter to a Christian Nation by Sam Harris, Why I Am Not a Christian by Bertrand Russell. Isn't he a mathematician, I think?
I don't know.
Okay,
I should know the answer to that, but I don't.
You look that up. I'm pretty sure he's a mathematician.
Got it.
And other works by early freethinkers like Thomas Paine and Voltaire. These bans attempt to suppress dissenting viewpoints and limit access to information that challenges religious dogma, which is basically what we've been talking about this whole episode.
Right.
Banned Books Week provides an opportunity to recognize and oppose attempts to silence atheist voices and defend the freedom to access and explore a diversity of perspectives, including those that challenge religious beliefs.
Got it.
And that's,
he was a mathematician,
yes,
along with philosopher, which is how I knew him. But
yeah,
so yes,
he's a smarty guy.
Yeah,
yeah. The suppression of atheist thought within the larger theme of banned books highlights the struggle for intellectual freedom and encompasses a wide range of perspectives, including those critical of religion. The writings of early freethinkers like Baruch Spinoza and Denis Diderot were often suppressed or banned due to their critiques of religion and promotion of rationalism. And I know Spinoza was one of the early philosophers in helping compose our, I forget what he did, but I want to say he was either part of the Enlightenment or right after that helped in the creation of what we based our Constitution on or something.
Okay.
He was a great writer.
Yeah. Right.
Something like that.
I mean, he influenced a lot of big thinkers from what I just did a quick search because I don't know enough about. I've heard the name before, but I don't know enough about him, and I should because he's very influential.
Yeah.
And yeah, it definitely would be. This is the kind of stuff that I want to get into eventually. They're the people that are on the list of people that he influenced are people that I want to read too. So I mean, definitely want to dig down this rabbit hole.
Yeah,
so.
he was more of a political philosopher,
right?
So that was where he leaned.
Sure.
Another would be, of course, Charles Darwin's On the Origin of Species, and other scientific texts that challenge creationist views have also faced censorship attempts from religious groups.
Of course.
Because science.
Yeah.
You know? And
Yep.
we can't have science.
No, I mean, it's sad, but Darwin has become this, it's almost, it's not, we can't view it as just science because it's such a political thing as well, right? It's become a catch point for politics and religion because of how controversial it is to the idea of the Christian religion in the United States, right? Or religion in general. I'm not saying just the United States, but the idea that we were not just made from fucking dirt or a god booger or something is just it hurts people that are religious's feelings. So they can't take it. So
no, it's true.
But that's the thing. It's a scientific book, right?
Yeah.
Why can't we just examine it on its merits, and then if you want to dismiss it, find the reasons to dismiss it.
Scientifically dismiss the science.
Yeah, sure.
The way other scientists do.
Sure.
That's the wonderful thing about science that
no problem being wrong.
Yeah.
Just let's be. I want. Wait. You know what? If I'm a scientist, I want to be fucking wrong. Prove me so wrong that you're right.
Yeah.
Because I want to know.
You want to be a cog in the progression towards knowledge.
Yeah. I want to know the right.
Yeah.
So if I'm wrong, please make it right.
Yeah.
That's what knowledge is all about. You want to be the most right.
You want to have the most correct answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's to a lot of people, that's very important.
Yeah.
And to me, it's very important.
To me as well.
I think that it is very important to be as right as possible, whether we're talking about science, whether we're talking about social issues, whether we're talking about I don't know what to eat for lunch, there's right answers,
Yeah.
The right answer for me one day, though, on lunch is not going to be the same as the next day. So,
there's nuance. Not everything is just a simple answer. And actually, something that I wanted to propose that we talk about next week is an article that I read and some comments about it that kind of discussed the difference and the misunderstandings with regard to trans people and intersex people.
Yeah,
and
you actually shared that with me today.
it was so fascinating. The article itself and the comments. One of the people speaking about the article and pointing out some of its flaws was a trans person.
Yeah. And
it was so interesting because a bunch of LGBTQIA very firm allies, staunch allies, were arguing with the trans person's interpretation. And so the discussion just really unfolded from there. I thought that would be a great topic for next week.
I agree. I think and we would be examining that from a perspective of we are not trans ourselves, obviously, but we do have a kid that identifies as trans. Yeah. So that is an important aspect to our lives. And I think that our ideas with regard to that discussion fell in line with kind of how we feel about other liberal discussions that are out in the world.
Yeah.
And that's that sometimes there's the most right sometimes, but there's also trying to get people to even recognize that there is a right.
Yeah.
Right. And you have to decide who you're talking to.
Yeah. And my point too was that sometimes the answer is nuanced.
Yeah.
And sometimes the answer can be too nuanced for the audience that you're speaking to, which is what you were just saying.
Right.
So
and I'm not going to get into it too much further because that might be the discussion. That'll
definitely be part of the discussion.
Next week,
yeah.
So.
But I think that would be a nice follow-up from this because I have reached the end of Banned Books Week.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully we never have to talk about banned books ever again.
I know, right?
Maybe this podcast will change the whole fucking world.
Get the fuck out of here.
DeSantis will lose his job. Things are just going to happen because of this. This podcast will be the most phenomenal banned book podcast ever, and then everything will just fix itself.
Anyway,
right?
I usually don't like to leave you guys with a challenge or a call to action or homework.
Mm-hmm.
But this one time, I am going to assign some homework. Within the next few weeks, if not this week, see if you can come across a list of banned books and challenge yourself to read one. And if you're not much of a reader, there are children's books. There are children's picture books.
Yeah.
That you can just look online and they're free. Or you can go to your local library if you're like, me and pressed for money.
Yeah, right.
But find a banned book and read it.
Well, and supporting libraries, just for the record, is always
the
right thing to do.
Oh my God.
Regardless of whether you utilize them enough or not, make sure you at least support them.
If you walked into a library and asked a librarian, I would like to read a banned book. Here's what I'm looking for. Can you help me? They would be tickled pink.
Yeah.
And if you told them, I just listened to a podcast that talked about what heroes librarians are, you would probably bring them to tears.
Right. Yeah.
So do that.
Yeah, I really do think that librarians are some of the most important frontline workers with regard to our
First Amendment
rights.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do appreciate their work they do. And I love recognizing that fact. And these we get the opportunity at least once a year with the Banned Book Week, because we do tend to go over this, I think, yearly. But
Banned Book Week, there's also a library day that I tend to celebrate myself, but don't really mention. But
we like books.
We like books.
There you go. That's what it is. I am actually going to send another homework assignment with you guys.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So if you guys get an opportunity, I would love to hear if you have the opportunity to send us an email or some other private conversation. I would love to hear how you have handled a discussion with a family member about transgender. If you've had that discussion.
Yeah.
I would love to hear how that went.
Transgender and or intersex and or any kind of gender or sexuality.
Just because we're going to be talking about this next week, if you've got a story to share it with us. If you don't know our email address right off the top of your head, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. Or you can go to our website, sacrilegiousdiscourse.com.
Yeah.
And there's a contact page on there. Either one will work. Or, there's various social media places you can reach us as well.
Yeah.
But long form is going to be easier to email, I think. So.
Yeah. And if you have a story to share and you're willing to share it, let us know that too.
Yeah. We would love to hear from you.
Yeah.
And I don't know that we will, utilize that in our podcast, but we still want to hear the stories and we may utilize it, but let us know if it's okay to.
Yes,
like
please.
if you do send us something, let us know if it's okay to share it or not.
Yeah.
If it's personal, tell us. We won't share any of it.
Absolutely.
But, if you don't mind us sharing it, let us know that too.
Yeah.
So, do you have anything else for us before we get out of here?
Read a banned book and tell us about your discussions.
Yes, those are the things. All right. Thank you guys for being patient with us over the last couple of weeks. We should be back on track for the most part now. So
hopefully.
Yeah. And everything will be kind of how we discussed at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
And going forward, that's how it'll be.
Yay.
So thanks, guys.
Have a good night. Bye.
Hey, wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegiousdiscourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.